run left him badly injured, but it could not take away his spirit. You're going to meet this man, a real person, a real inspiring story on the way. Plus, you are just minutes away from an incredible story and an incredible man. His life dramatically changed in an instant. Nothing stops him from living it to the fullest. Andre's story right after weather. We unfortunately do a lot of hit and run stories here at Fox 25, and they're all awful, but this one, as bad as it was, and it was bad, is going to inspire you and make you think twice before you complain about anything. And that's because of the person who was hit. His name is Andre Burgos, and it is a name you'll never forget. He promises you that in our Real People, Real Stories. I debated which pictures to show you first of Andre Burgos. The Marine, 8 years as an infantryman, part of the Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Team, designated marksman, and the man in charge of 42 Marines in combat by the age of 21. A sergeant so confident. Or these, just as confident, still as sharp as ever, despite the fact a hit and run took a good part of his right leg and eventually part of his hand. Do you think that because you're a Marine, that's why you can not only get through major trauma, but the way you're dealing with it?
Without a doubt.
That and your mother.
That and my mother, yeah.
Let's be honest, you're going to give your mother the credit.
I am the son of a Puerto Rican woman, first off, and then definitely the Marine Corps has given me just like this sense of pride and self-drive and discipline, that with that, I mean, it made me who I am today. I know for a fact, hands down, my mother and the Marine Corps are the two reasons why I'm the strong SOB that they say I am.
Oh, he's strong, inside and out. His mother's name, by the way, is Carmen. Now let's talk about a date that will not define this man. June 29th, 2011.
I was coming from Springfield visiting some friends. I was hit, knocked off my motorcycle by a hit and run driver. I was doing the speed limit.
Andre was able to crawl across the road only to be hit again.
This leg was obviously kind of further up, and because this got crushed right at the knee. So the car ran me over. I was laying on my stomach. Somehow it got one leg without the other. I could only assume that I was in the middle of a crawl trying to get out. And then I remember being in my helmet, looking at wet concrete and thinking that I was gonna die. I died twice. I was resuscitated twice in the hospital.
Let's talk about this here.
From what I remember,
this is from the hospital.
Yes, from the hospital, not the accident. I was told that when I came to, my hand was black, the finger was black, and they said that it was an infiltrated IV, that the liquid should go away, and that I should regain function. About 4 days after coming to, that's when they told me they were going to have to amputate that part of my hand as well. I've seen people recover from IEDs, and I knew that the technology was out there. So the leg was not a thing to me. I said, take it off. I know that I'll be able to get some good prosthetics. At the time, however, I didn't realize that the hand was such an issue.
You have taken this big disadvantage, and you've said, it's not a disadvantage.
I try a lot not to let anything hold me back, period. Rowing, rock climbing, cycling, water skiing,
I saw that.
Snow skiing. I'm gonna try snowboarding this year.
And getting back on the bike is next on the list. And you're probably wondering why we're sitting at Mom's in Foxborough. It's where Andre works. Yes, he plugs it every single chance he can get. And once you know why, it's more than okay.
We're at Mom's South in Foxborough. In Foxborough, Mass. Motorcycles in Manchester, largest victory dealer.
So you can't help yourself. You can't help it. This is a plug.
No.
This is a story about how incredible you've overcome and the things that you do, and he's plugging.
Well, I'll tell you, talk about incredible. I was working here for 3 months when the accident happened. While I was in the hospital, the owner and my boss continued to pay me my weekly salary, never asked me when I was coming back to work, brought me an iPad that I could use for entertainment purposes in the hospital.
But you can see why, because this is a good man, a man who exemplifies fortitude every day of his life before his life totally changed
And now,
My father always told me that you're only as good as your name. Your name is the most important thing in the world. I don't want Andre Burgos to be related with sadness or anguish or pain. I mean, honestly, my wife left me 8 months after the accident. There's been just so many negative things that have happened. I could very easily go into a dark place, but I refuse to be that person. I am still here. I am still relevant. I want Andre Burgos to be related to power, to strength, to authority, to leadership. I will be somebody and people will know me for my actions. My name will be a good name, not a bad one.
Andre Burgos, just remember that. Paralympics, that's next. I asked him which sport. He looked at me and said, as many as I can. Isn't that awesome?
Certainly is. Andre, nice to meet you tonight. Coming up, hiding